Malaga Radio.
Freshly squeezed.
The juice on all the daily events along the coast.
With just a little bit of zest.
This week, Culture and Exhibitions is about more than stepping indoors to escape the August heat. It is a chance to slow the holiday down, look properly at the places around you, and discover that some of the strongest exhibitions are spread across Malaga City, Marbella, Estepona, Antequera, Benalmádena and Nerja.
And because the geography is so varied, this is not one museum trail. There are major city collections, historic buildings, quieter regional galleries, and one specialist evening visit in Antequera. The useful question is not how many venues you can collect, but which experience fits the part of the province where you are staying.
We begin in Malaga City at the Museo Picasso Málaga, where Portuguese artist Joana Vasconcelos presents Transfiguración. Vasconcelos works with materials that may initially feel familiar: textiles, embroidery, crochet, domestic objects, and industrial elements. Then she changes the scale completely. You recognize the materials before you understand what they have become.
The exhibition is inside the Palacio de Buenavista in the historic center. That creates a strong contrast between monumental contemporary work and the controlled spaces of a historic museum building. This is also a substantial museum visit. Rather than a quick temporary display, it can be combined with the permanent Picasso collection, so it suits a visitor who wants one developed cultural stop in the middle of the day.
What makes Vasconcelos interesting here is the transformation. Craft techniques that have often been treated as domestic or decorative are given physical weight and museum scale. Some pieces feel playful at first, but they also ask who made these materials, where they belong, and why certain forms of work have historically been valued differently from others.
The Museo Picasso Málaga is open from 10 in the morning until 8 in the evening during July and August. On Sunday the 9th, public entry is free from 6 until 8 in the evening, with the ticket office closing at 7:30. That gives visitors a clear choice. A daytime visit may offer more flexibility, while the Sunday free entry period can work well if this is the one museum you particularly want to see.
Moving west to Marbella, the Museo del Grabado Español Contemporáneo is presenting Salvador Dalí's 10 Recetas de Inmortalidad. This is not the Dalí most visitors first imagine. The focus is not on the familiar painted images associated with melting clocks. It is Dalí through graphic art, printmaking, technical experimentation, and his fascination with ideas of immortality.
The exhibition is at the Museo del Grabado Español Contemporáneo inside the historic Hospital Bazán on Calle Hospital Bazán in Marbella's Old Town. It continues until the 15th of November. During this week, the specific exhibition listing gives opening hours of 11 until 2 on Monday and Saturday, and 11 until 6 from Tuesday to Friday. Sunday is not listed as an opening day.
And the building matters. Hospital Bazán gives the exhibition a historic frame, while Dalí's work moves through surrealism, visual puzzles, and experimental print techniques. It is a quieter way to encounter him. Instead of standing in front of one instantly recognizable image, you begin to see how much of his work depended on process, repetition, and technical curiosity.
For visitors staying around Marbella, this is also a useful Old Town cultural stop. It belongs geographically with Marbella's historic center rather than Puerto Banús, and it can sit naturally inside a wider walk through the older streets.
Further west in Estepona, the Centro Cultural Mirador del Carmen is showing Maestros de la Luz y la Forma. This exhibition brings together paintings and sculpture from a private collection and moves across a wide span of art history. Rather than reciting every name, the useful way to understand it is through the range. Picasso, Sorolla, Tapiz, and Murillo all appear within the same exhibition.
The venue is the Centro Cultural Mirador del Carmen on Avenida de España, number 290. It is open from Tuesday to Saturday from 10 until 2 and again from 5 until 8. Entry is free and the exhibition continues until the 14th of August.
That split opening pattern also changes how the visit feels. There is a morning window, then the gallery closes through the hottest part of the afternoon before reopening in the early evening. And because the collection moves between painting and sculpture, and between historic and modern work, it can suit somebody who wants variety rather than one single artist or movement.
It is also an important reminder that a serious exhibition visit on the western coast does not automatically require a journey into Malaga City. city. For listeners staying in Estepona, Marbella, or further west, Mirador del Carmen can be the main cultural stop without turning the day into a long cross-province journey.
Our inland contrast comes from Antequera, where the Museo de la Ciudad de Antequera is hosting Mirada al Barroco, Palacio de Nájera on Tuesday the 4th of August. This is not a theatrical performance. It is a specialist guided museum visit in Spanish, focused on the building itself.
The visit begins at 8 in the evening and lasts 1 hour. Capacity is limited to 30 people and advance reservation is compulsory. The meeting point is the main reception desk inside the Museo de la Ciudad de Antequera in the Palacio de Nájera on Plaza Coso Viejo.
The focus is the palace's monumental Baroque staircase and dome. That gives this visit a very different rhythm from the larger exhibitions. You are not moving from painting to painting. You are being asked to look closely at how a building directs movement, light, and attention.
Because the visit is in Spanish, English language support should not be assumed. Antequera is also an inland destination, so it works best as the main plan for that part of the evening, rather than something added casually to a coastal itinerary.
And now, a quicker look at the other exhibitions and cultural choices around the province. In Malaga City, the Centre Pompidou Málaga is presenting El Gesto y la Materia, exploring international abstraction after the Second World War. This is art built around physical action, raw material, and the idea that gesture itself can become a visual language.
The Centre Pompidou is at the port inside the familiar colored cube. It is closed on Tuesdays, so opening patterns matter when planning a visit. It also offers free general admission on Sundays from 4 in the afternoon until closing.
At the Museo Carmen Málaga, Los Ribalta y el Barroco Naturalista moves into 17th century Spanish painting, dramatic light, and more human, immediate religious imagery.
The museum is closed on Mondays. On Sundays, free general access begins at 4 in the afternoon. That makes the Thyssen and Centre Pompidou useful options for visitors comparing Sunday free entry windows.
At Mucac La Coracha, Paz Errázuriz Poéticas de Resistencia brings a quieter but powerful photographic story, centered on dignity, exclusion, and people living outside conventional social narratives.
Mucac is free to enter, but it is closed on Mondays. Its La Coracha location also makes it distinct from the Central Historic Museum cluster.
At the Museo Casa Natal Picasso, Ni Musas ni Modelos changes the usual art historical perspective by focusing on women as artists, rather than presenting them simply as muses, companions, or models. And at La Termica, Ryan Schneider's Murmuración uses large format painting, organic forms, and landscapes with a more instinctive physical energy.
La Termica is in the western part of Malaga City and is also free to enter. It works particularly well for visitors who want to move beyond the historic center museum circuit.
Then there is the Mercado de Verano at Muelle Uno. This is not an indoor museum visit. It is an outdoor waterfront market centered on crafts, independent design, ceramics, jewelry, and textile work.
It runs through the week at Muelle Uno, close to the Centre Pompidou, so those two can be grouped geographically. But because the market is outdoors, it makes more sense later in the day or evening than as a midday cooling stop.
In Antequera, there are also several smaller cultural discoveries. Topografía del Gesto places contemporary work inside the historic setting of the Church of San Juan de Dios, while Realismo Mágico continues at MAD Antequera.
And on Sunday the 9th, Dibujo Urbano en Antequera begins at 9:30 in the morning near the Arco de los Gigantes. That is a participatory outdoor drawing activity rather than a conventional exhibition, so it suits an early start before the day becomes hotter.
On the Central Coast, Castillo El Bilbil in Benalmádena is hosting an exhibition by Miguel Merchant Toledo. His work focuses on figurative painting, Andalusian landscapes, and Mediterranean light. And the red Neomudéjar building overlooking the sea becomes part of the visual experience.
Further east, the Museo de Nerja presents Forma en Diálogo by Maria Belén Morales. That exhibition brings contemporary sculpture and geometric form into a museum better known for the history and archaeology of the Axarquía.
And back in Marbella, El Poder de Volar by Marife Núñez offers a smaller contemporary alternative, using digital collage, painting, and photographic elements around ideas of movement and symbolic flight.
So how do you choose between free Sunday entry, individual museum visits, and the Malaga Pass? The Malaga Pass is available in 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour, and 1-week versions. It comes in physical and mobile formats and covers participating museums and attractions, together with visitor information and preferential access arrangements.
A free window is useful when there is one exhibition you particularly want to see. A pass makes more sense when museums are part of the holiday, rather than a single afternoon escape.
For Sunday Estate planning, Museo Carmen and Centre Pompidou Malaga offer free general entry from 4 in the afternoon. Museo Picasso Málaga offers free public entry on Sunday the 9th from 6 until 8, with the ticket office closing at 7:30.
But free entry does not always mean the easiest entry. August free periods can attract queues, particularly at the better-known museums.
So compare the current Malaga Pass inclusion list, museum opening days, reservation requirements, and free entry windows before setting out. 1 or 2 carefully chosen museums may suit the free periods. Several visits across a short stay may make the pass or time tickets more convenient.
This week gives you monumental contemporary art in Malaga, Dalí in Marbella, a wide-ranging collection in Estepona, Baroque architecture after the heat in Antequera, and smaller discoveries in photography, sculpture, painting, and local design.
For exact opening times, reservations, and current venue information, check the official museum or organizer and visit malagaradio.net.
This has been Culture and Exhibitions this week from Malaga Radio, covering Monday the 3rd to Sunday the 9th of August.
Malaga Radio. Malaga Radio.